Hello, everybody, and welcome to the stream. I've got Chris Michaud, Flip the Table Chris here.
Hi!
with
Hello!
us, and David Mazznato, aka the Wheel of Names,
Hello.
will be popping in and out, running things behind the scenes most of the time for us. But Chris will be with me the whole time, and he is officially the goofiest co-host ever.
You know, I'll take it.
In the green room.
Only Heather could see my camera during the countdown, and I was doing everything I could to ruin this before it even started. But it's good to be here. I love coming back to these streams. The conversations are always a lot of fun. And Protospiel is one of my favorite organizations ever in the whole world. We got people from Istanbul coming in all over the world.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that's fun. I can't wait to see what's in store today.
Yeah, nice. I guess we picked a good workable time, at least for Istanbul. I don't know about good.
Hi, Jay. How's it going?
Jay. California. All over the place. Every time zone, basically. We wrapped the whole...
It's all three. All three time zones.
Yeah, well, of course, there's the ones we're in, too. Yeah. Yeah, I come to you from Colorado. I don't say that out loud very often. My other...
I wouldn't either.
Oh, no, I love being from Colorado. I've lived here my whole life.
I've got no
it's
Colorado
a little in the middle
riff.
of nowhere.
Like, I can't think of anything about Colorado that I would make fun of. So perhaps it is a good thing to be from Colorado.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful in Colorado.
It's just far away from everything.
Yeah.
It's like not on the way to anything. If you're coming here, you're coming here.
Yeah. Bangor, Maine, essentially the same. We have an international airport, but people aren't flying to Bangor to go places, unless that place is Stephen King's house.
Okay.
New Jersey. So we got some East Coast represented here.
Yeah.
All good.
Very good. Well, just to give you a rundown of what's going to happen here or what we're up to with our giveaway live stream is at the January event about a month ago, Protospiel Online, lots of people played metagames, won entries into our giveaway drawing, and we're doing the drawing here live. And we're also going to be, for those of you who come and visit us live, giving away some merch prizes. So the giveaway from Protospiel Online, that's for gift cards to buy badges for future Protospiel Onlines. And the live attendees are going to be getting merch if they win the games that we play this time. Generally, Chris takes care of those live games, and this time we're doing trivia. So we'll see how that's the first time we've done it. So we'll see how it goes.
Real deal trivia. None of this solving goofy puzzle nonsense. You just got to know things this time. So, but I think this group will be able to handle it. We'll see.
Very good. All right. So the first thing, are we going to do Wheel of Names first? Our first Wheel of Names drawing for everybody what that looks like?
Let's spin the Wheel of Names. So these are the people who... Just kidding. Where's my Wheel of Names?
Just kidding. There were no people.
Good Lord.
There we
go. There's all the people.
There's the Wheel of Names.
There's our lowercase d of prizes.
D for Protospiel. It is. These are people who. Oh my God. What is happening?
They participated in
the thing. They came to
the event. Challenges during the event. And they gave shout outs.
Thank you.
And they did all kinds of fun things.
God, yes. I'm glad someone knows what's going on.
Mostly from bingo. Bingo is the biggest thing that probably gets people on this list. Shout outs, they get a different prize.
It's true. Mm-hmm. It's true. So we're going to spin this a whole bunch of times, but we're going to kick things off with our first spin. So on the count of three. Are we all going in the same direction? All right. 3, 2, 1, and spin. Chris, you go too hard too early, and you're gonna hurt yourself.
Just gonna run out of gas before the hour's over. Justin Berman, congratulations!
Yay! All right, so that's for a $40 gift certificate to Protospiel Online's website.
That's right.
Get one of these shirts.
we'll reach out to Justin with the details on that shortly. But yeah,
do we want to do a trivia like practice run before we do for real trivia for a prize? For the first time how it works?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to do? Yeah. Cool.
Do you have an extra question? Or are you fine with that?
You know what? I happen to have 1,800 questions, as it turns out. So this is the Weakest Link quiz book. It is based on the television game show The Weakest Link, the American version on the NBC network, as you can see there. This was printed in 2001. So as an additional challenge, you need to get the correct answer as it was in 2001. If it has changed since then, I will not accept that answer. I will only accept what's in the book. And it's going to be really easy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read a trivia question out loud from somewhere in this book. And then the first correct answer in the chat will win the prize. So this first one is just for practice to make sure that everybody's good. You are allowed to search the internet, by the way. It's not like we could stop you anyway, but it will slow you down. Just knowing the answer will get you in that much quicker. So if you think you know the answer, just type it into the chat. So I have grabbed a random page here. And so for practice, let's say, what N is a medical disorder characterized by sudden and uncontrollable attacks of deep sleep? So a random question. What N is a medical disorder characterized by sudden and uncontrollable attacks of deep sleep? Heather and David, you can answer this one if you like. But it's too late. Mirkwood Lodge has narcolepsy. That's correct. And by the way, if you don't know the answer, Jay Bell's in with it as well. You're certainly welcome to give an entirely incorrect answer, and maybe we'll pop it up anyway. So if you have either already won a prize, or you don't know the answer, or you just feel like a troll that day, feel free to just throw whatever in the chat as well, and maybe you'll get on TV here. So what are we doing for real?
Okay. Yeah, the big name TV channels.
This
look,
we're on NBC right
in front of the whole world.
It looks like we're pulling 4 viewers right now, so this is
woo!
This is big. This is big for you. If
4
you get
viewers
the screen.
from all 3 time zones.
Huge. We are huge in Princeton, New Jersey. For this first one is for a People Make the Playtest vinyl sticker of your choice from the Protospiel Online website. That's what we're playing for.
Rainbow is quite popular, but there's a wide variety.
There's like so many colors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So whether you're from Drinston, New Jersey, or anywhere else, listen carefully. Here we go. This is for real. First correct answer in the chat gets it. In 1988, Chrysler became the first U.S. automaker to include what safety device as standard equipment? So, for the vinyl sticker, in 1988, Chrysler became the first U.S. automaker to include what safety device as standard equipment? Jay, I'm a game show host. That's as close as I'm going to get. Mark Marino is in with airbag, and that is correct. Congratulations,
that is so
Mark.
Depressing.
Well done.
It took that long, you mean?
I knew it was going to be bad. Like, it was going to be something like seatbelts or airbags or wheels.
I remember, because I was about 7 or 8 years old at that time, they had TV commercials where they would show the airbag deploying in slow motion out of the center of the steering wheel to show you what an airbag was. Mark, don't tell us you're driving.
You better not be.
Plausible deniability is important.
I feel like
as is plausible deniability.
Mark is one of our guests, and we'll talk about it when he joins us this time. But I think you two might be vying for the comedy seat. We'll see.
We'll see.
Well, congratulations to Mark. We'll reach out to you about your sticker. In the meantime, it is time for me to disappear and someone else to appear. So please welcome our first guest. This is Brooks. Goodbye.
Goodbye, David.
Goodbye.
Hello.
Hello.
How y'all doing?
There you go.
There we go. Now
David
we're all set. Fantastic.
Welcome
Welcome aboard.
Hi.
Good. Yeah, I played your game with you, but I don't think I was ever on camera with you, so good to face-to-face meet you.
Yeah, you too. How's everybody doing?
Good. It's Saturday. Here it's
Having a
snowy.
good time.
Cool. Yeah, it's like I don't know, 60s here in Texas, rainy, so
And
no snow.
yeah, some people might remember you from your game, I should say,
Yeah.
from the showcase. It was the one that had like Texagons.
Yes, I had a map of Texas with a bunch of smaller Texases inside of it. I'm
Wait,
calling
hold on.
Texagons.
Am I understanding this correctly? That it was like a grid map, but each space was the shape of Texas,
Yeah,
and they just
yeah.
fit into each other?
Yep.
We're
Yeah.
pretty
Can't
close.
even.
Pretty
It
close.
wasn't perfect. There were on the edges. There were like little triangles to kind of like fill it in. But yeah.
Still, that's pretty great. I got to give you credit for that.
Thanks. Yeah, I like it.
Remind me the name of it.
It's called Spindletop, which is where they first found oil in Texas back in the early 20th century.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was pretty. Like, how was it? Playtesting it digitally, was this like a really first time digital playtest or early time?
It was
Or
the first
playtesting in
playtest.
general?
You were part of the first playtest of that game, Heather. So,
Okay.
yeah, in fact, I kind of put it together first thing back in November of last year, and then coming into this Protospiel, I needed something to playtest, so I spent the week before kind of getting it into shape and throwing it together. And you were there. It wasn't the best playtest in the world, but I learned a lot. I made a lot of fixes, and it's better now. We should play it again.
That's what makes it. I don't think playtests are good or bad because
Yeah.
like you're able to finish the game or whatever. I think they're good if you find what you need to find.
Yeah, and I did. I found exactly what I needed, so I'm still
Exactly.
working on it.
Very good.
Yeah, I've definitely been in those tests where I think everything's going to go great, and then it just crashes and burns. And
Yeah.
but you learn a lot about what's going on, and if you can find that nugget of what's important, then everything's good. I see the comment: the map for the game is wild. I still can't get my brain around it. How long has it been in development?
Just a few months. So it's based around poker mechanics as well, which is kind of.
You got my attention already. I love bringing
Yeah.
other games into games.
Yeah, so it's kind of like you're exploring the map of Texas to find oil and produce oil and sell it using a hand of cards that you discard to take actions that you're restricted by those cards, which was the main point of feedback in Heather's playtest. And then at the end of the round, you have 2 cards left and you're playing a game of Texas No Limit Hold'em. Yeah.
This already sounds excellent.
Yeah, thanks. So it's still balancing that out so that the person, if you lose, if you get 5 bad poker hands in a row, which is possible, you don't want to automatically lose. So trying to find that balance is still where I am, but it's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
I feel like I need to show Chris this image, so I'm gonna do that.
Are we gonna
do
the screen share? Are we gonna see the Texagons?
Yeah. Yes, I'll get the Texagons. Just a second, but while I'm doing that little bit of work, tell me, Brooks, what brought you to Protospiel Online, or how'd you come attend?
Yeah, I mean, I've been aware of it for a while. I've not done a lot. Like just about a year ago is when I started really trying to get into game design, and so I spent most of last year playing as much as I could and kind of figuring out the landscape of the design space and playtesting stuff. I don't have a lot of. It's not easy for me to go in person places. Honestly, there's a local group. I'm in the Austin, Texas area. There's a local group that meets twice a week, and I try to get there when I can. But I have 3 kids at home and that kind of stuff.
Right.
So online events are really, really great. And so I saw this come up, and I just decided to jump in and do it. And it was really a great experience for me. It's my first time really going to an event like this at all. And my first time at Protospiel Online, definitely. And I think is somebody I'm pretty introverted, and somebody walking into a group of strangers that clearly most of you know each other already or have been to similar events in the past. It was a little intimidating at first, but I think everybody was super friendly and welcoming, and it was a great experience all the way start to finish. So I was really happy I did it. I'm looking forward to the one in May.
I'm glad to hear that because my first attended event was a couple of Protospiels ago, and there's so much work done, and I don't know if we talk about this enough during these streams of helping people on board, like You have a place to go just immediately to start chatting with people and getting to know people. It's a very streamlined process for sort of putting your game on the bulletin board and getting into a test, versus the experience that you may have had, and you can tell me if this is what you've been through, of bringing it to the local game group, and they're there with their published games. They're like, do you want to try this? And like having that kind of awkward conversation versus held space where everybody's there to test, and that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
No, it's great. And yeah, all the coffee talk channel and everybody, all the moderators were great. Everybody's super welcoming. And I just told people, this is my first time doing this. I don't know what I'm doing. And they were very, very helpful all the way around.
We started at some point in the last year or two, adding a little heart to your name that says your first time Protospiel. So, or first time Protospiel online. You might have gone to an in-person Protospiel before, but if you haven't been in the server before, or you haven't bought a badge before, we can detect that and add that to you. So that kind of helps people just flag like, hey, be gentle. Hey, introduce this person. And it seems to work pretty well. That was a good addition. But let me show everybody.
Oh, we get to see it?
Yeah, there you go. And it's got, I'm not sure how much you're going to change any of this stuff, but yeah, like more oil drops in some places, fewer in others, cities and regions. It's interesting.
It's very different now, I got to say. I've gotten rid of the oil on the map. It's more randomized. Yeah, so there's a lot different about it now. But the map itself, like in terms of the hexagons, hasn't changed and the regions haven't changed, but how a lot of those actions work, and it was way too complicated. So I tried to streamline it and simplify it.
Yeah, and that's an interesting thing to mention right now too, is you put it in on our website like that, as it was at the time you were bringing it, and it's okay. You can, and it's not true anymore, but that's not the expectation that this is your finished game that's going to be like this forever. It's like a screenshot of how it was that time. And that's kind of part of the point, is it's fun to see, for me at least, I feel that way. It's fun to see the progress of things, play something 2 Protospiels from now and be like, oh man, I played that before and it was like this and now it's like that. Sometimes I'm sad. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I liked it.
There's definitely at least one game that I played in prototype form years and years and years and years ago that I still play by the rules that I learned the first time, in spite of the designers kicking and screaming protests every time I bring it to a convention. No, you're not doing it right. Well, but this is the way I like it. So
house rules. Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Was there anything that you, like any favorite memory or anything that you played, Brooks, during the time you were there that you want to shout out?
Yeah, I got to play several really good games. I think Zoe Allred's, what was it called? Butterfly was really interesting. It was kind of like a trick-taking thing, past, future, self, because you're all playing different aspects of the same person at different stages of their life, which was really fascinating. Derwent Reddy's Taste for the King is really fun, kind of social deduction game. Got to play that.
Gotten to play that one. That one's a fun one.
It was a good time. And then Frango Marengo was a lot of fun. It's like a Portuguese kind of trading game where you're kind of negotiating and trying. You have preferred suits over other suits and things like that. And it's just kind of wild the way it works. So it was an interesting game. Good times.
The first 2 you mentioned have come other times, and I've played each of them at least once. Maybe I was playing Butterfly with you. I can't remember.
I think we were in there together. Yeah.
Okay. And then, but say that name again. It's a little bit of a tongue twister. I didn't get to play it yet.
I'm sure I'm not pronouncing it right because it's Portuguese, but it's Frango Marengo or Frango Morango, something like that.
Okay, gotcha.
I think it's the word for raspberry, Frango, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, it was good. It was a good time. It was pretty crazy. It was a lot of fun. I think I played that with Zoe and Jay Bendixson. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fun.
Somebody from our Australia group.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jay has a lot of fun games too. So yeah, awesome. I'm really glad that you felt like you could be connected. That is a concern I personally have sometimes, is like, as we get to be good friends in our community, when new people come in, can we kind of open the circle and let them be our friend too, right? And let them in on the inside jokes and all that stuff. Let them add to the inside jokes. So makes me really happy to hear that it sounds like that happened for you.
Oh yeah,
Glad
definitely.
when it
Everybody
can.
was really great, and I felt like as I left the weekend feeling like I was part of the community now. So that's it's a good sign, I think, of what you put
Aw.
together.
Yay. Very good. Okay,
Cool.
David says it's time. It's time to play games again.
Let's do it.
It is. Hello, I'm back.
Whoa!
Hi. Let me look at the thing. I'm doing the thing where I'm like flying a spaceship and looking at a bunch of different windows. All right, we're doing Wheel of Names. We're doing another Wheel of Names.
All right.
There she is, her sweet, beautiful wheel.
Such a biggie.
It's ridiculous. There's like, I think there's only like maybe 9 names on there, but some of the people on there have.
Kayfabe is important. All right.
That is true.
90 names. That's what I heard.
Every single one of our attendees has their name on here at least 500 times, which is why we should spin.
That's what makes it such a big, heavy, and impressive wheel.
It's so big. So on the count of 3, we will spin the wheel and find out who our second winner is of a $40 Protospiel Online gift card. 3, 2, 1, and spin. I'm gonna preemptively call an ambulance for Chris. Yeah.
Jeff Grissenthwaite.
Congrats.
You know who doesn't need an ambulance is Jeff Grissenthwaite. Congratulations.
Very good.
Cool.
Well, thank you so much, Brooks, for joining us. It's really good to hear about your experience, and thanks for sharing it with everybody.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, me too.
If we wanted to find you, Brooks, on the internet, are there places where we can follow you or your games or any of the things you're working on? Twitter?
I'm mostly on Bluesky now because I left whatever that Twitter thing is now. So I'm on Bluesky, just Brooks Barber. And then I have a game called Triptych up on Screen Top that is open and public for everybody to play. It's a little trick taker, 36 cards, based on creating a 3-panel image across in a shared grid. It's a fun little thinky trick taking game. So
very cool.
Awesome. Well, see you on Bluesky.
Bye, y'all.
Pleasure to meet you.
Bye. All right.
Bye.
And Chris, we can just keep you big because
let's just
you're on deck next.
All right.
Oh, Mall Night Long.
Yeah.
Mall Night Long next.
Oh yeah. All right. We'll give away prizes later. First, self-promotion. That's the important part.
It's true.
So yeah, Mall Night Long. It's I talk about this whenever I come on. It is a virtual game show that you can play from home. It's like hiring a clown for a party, basically. We arrange a date and time, and I will bring an entire game show experience to you and your friends on Zoom. It's for 2 to 12 players, sometimes a few more if you want to squeeze them in. I'll divide you into 2 teams, and we go on a little bit of an adventure throughout a mega mall and play a game show right from home, right over Zoom. And I've done a small handful of in-person games recently as well. So maybe we can watch a little video about it, and then we can talk about that on the other side.
All right.
Yes.
So yeah, most recently, I was at SnowCon here in Bangor, Maine in January. That always happens on Martin Luther King weekend, and we did that as part of the Friday night kickoff. We had a nice big group playing. And coming up in March, I'm going to be at Granite Game Summit. Now, tickets are already sold out for that. I believe there is a wait list. But if you do happen to be attending, then you'll want to attend our in-person session there, where we're going to be running the same set of questions that we did in Las Vegas last fall, the last time we chatted about this. So it's the in-person sessions are a lot of fun. It's a very different energy when you've got live people in the room. But I am very much still doing the virtual sessions as well. I did one just last week, in fact. And so it's a little bit of word games and games about movies and games about food. There's puzzle solving. And then our final game is a game of luck and nerve called the Big Money Arcade. And so, Heather, you've had a chance to play as well?
At least 3 times, I feel like. I love that game.
Yeah. I appreciate the kind words, and I think if you are a part of the Protospiel Online community, you're probably very used to playing games online anyway. So this is a great way to play one and not have to teach the rules. You can kind of bring somebody in to have that fun for you, and that's all about all night long.
Very cool. Yeah, it's got a lot of it kind of toggles back and forth between debate, like you debate with your team what question you want to answer, and then more speed games. There's kind of an even mix.
That's right. So the first round is one where anybody on your team can shout out the answer, and if you're right, you score points. And then the next round after that, I give some clues about something, and your team debates on what answer you want to lock in. And so you can kind of go back and forth with that. So there's a lot of collaboration, and then there's some more quick thinking type games as well.
Mm-hmm. And
all with a sort of a sarcastic Gen X kind of spin on it. So.
Yeah, very, very 80s. The reason that I got it the very first time is just, I have a sister-in-law who is fanatic about the 80s. And so it was good to do as a family. So
great
highly
for
recommend for 80s
family gatherings if you got people in all 3 time zones.
Right, exactly.
The email address you saw in there, contactflipthetable@gmail.com is good. I also have an official one, playmallnightlong@gmail.com, or just hit me up in the Discord server. I'm in the Protospiel Discord as well. So you can find me at Flip the Table Chris.
At Gmail, you said, right?
Yes, playmallnightlong@gmail.com is the email if you want to inquire about booking a game. There it is, right there on the screen. And in the chat as well. You can click it right now, and your Microsoft Outlook will open up.
God, yeah.
You can send it immediately.
Ask Jeeves all about that.
He'll tell you up on Lycos. It might work in DuckDuckGo. I haven't tried.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't work in DuckDuckGo.
Okay, do it.
You're not on. You're not on there.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
Now that is played for fake prizes all night long, but maybe we should give away a real prize right now.
Oh my god!
We
have more? We have more fake real prizes to give?
More actual prizes. What is the next actual prize we're going to give away?
God, I mean, if I had to find another one to give, I'd probably want to give away a snail mail mystery gift, which looks a little bit like that. What Heather's holding up right now.
That is the prize that we give away for Shout Out Palooza, the winning team. So Shout Out Palooza is a team game. Everybody on the winning team gets that prize.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Jay saying here.
That is correct. I did run it for Granite Game Summit when they were in their virtual year. We did a Saturday night game as a double feature with me and Bruce Vogue. And so I'm still doing it. So I think that was actually a Price is Right game.
Okay. Yeah, that was going to be my question.
Yes.
This is your
this
is your
this
IP
is original material.
Yeah. Very cool.
All right. So
Amazing.
The rules once again. I'm going to read the question out loud. You put the correct answer in the chat. The first person to do that is going to win the snail mail mystery gift. Remember, you are allowed to search the internet, but just knowing it will be that much faster. And the question is, commercials for what brand of audio tape featured a singer shattering a glass with her voice? Once again, commercials for what brand of audio tape featured a singer shattering a glass with her voice? So we were talking about retro stuff. This is kind of a retro question. I'll give you that much of a clue. And I cannot accept the first answer that came in. It is not correct. We got a couple of guesses in there. It does need to be spelled correctly.
It also needs to be audio tape.
Audio tape.
Audio tape. Adhesive
still
tape
not
will not
correct.
count.
I will say that I see Maxwell and Maxell. Neither are correct. A good guess, though. It is not Scotch tape, although Scotch did make videotape.
Did they really?
Yes. I actually had a T-shirt of the Scotch tape logo. Duct has been answered. I cannot accept that.
I have a
All
guess,
right.
but I'm not eligible for the prize.
All right. I will go ahead and give a clue. It does start with an M.
I'm wrong.
And the tagline is it live or is it blank? Is it live or is it blank? So maybe that'll help your web search if you are cheating but not cheating right now. Not Maybelline. Is it live or is it Maybelline? Mirkwood Lodge gets it with Memorex is correct. Memorex. Although Maybelline, also an excellent guess. So, congratulations, Mirkwood Lodge, on your snail mail mystery gift. And we'll do one more later in the show.
Very good. Thank you, Chris.
Mirkwood, if you are a person in the Protospiel server, let us know who you are because I don't recognize your username. You don't have to say it on here if you don't feel comfortable doing so. Just flag us in the server.
I just hope you're a person in the first place, and not.
And if you're not in the server, send us an email.
Yeah.
Send me an email if you have to. I'll pass the message along. Whatever works.
Amazing. So we have a few more minutes until our guest is here, so we can kill some time, talk about whatever.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'll go ahead and since we're stretching for time here.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the other weakest link product that I have. The interesting thing about weakest link games is the game itself is not awesome as a home game because the core mechanism of it is voting other players off and with no actual cash in play for reasons that I'll get into offline with anybody who wants to hear my rant. It's not worth it. Don't do it. But this board game does come with this, which is an Anne Robinson face mask, which has insults on the back, so that you can make fun of the contestants. So I'm just going to kill time by reading a few of these until our guest shows up.
Our guest is here, but I do feel like you should do that anyway.
We'll do a couple. Let's see. Who is a huge embarrassment to the American educational system? Sick burn. There. Who could fill an encyclopedia with all they do not know?
Oh my God.
Which is everybody. Because knowledge is infinite, as it turns out.
Right. I want to know why that mask wasn't already out and being used during the time you were reading the trivia.
You know, sometimes you have to keep something in your back pocket for moments like this.
I feel like she didn't agree to her likeness being used in this way. At least, like, not in a way that would have been obvious to her when she signed on to host the weakest link.
You know, money's money. So, what are you gonna do? So,
wow. Oh, that's funny. Our guest was here, and then he disappeared. So
then he had technical difficulties, perhaps. We'll
oopsies. So we'll that's okay. I think we are actually currently we're actually running slightly ahead of schedule. So we can we can keep
we're doing trivia. Here we go. All right, this one's not for a prize. Also wrong answers only. Here we go. So put an incorrect answer to this in the chat and we'll see what you can come up with. Let's see. Reintroduced by John F. Kennedy, the highest award given to civilians is known as the Presidential Medal of what? So, reintroduced by John F. Kennedy, the highest award given to civilians is known as the Presidential Medal of what? Wrong answers only, please, in the chat. Presidential Medal of Coolness, I see. So, I think that's pretty plausible.
Yeah.
to get the Presidential Medal of Coolness. What else we got? Wrong answers only. Somebody gave a right answer. Shame on you for answering correctly. Presidential Medal of Impeachment? Sure. That could be a thing. Okay, looks like our guest is trying very hard to get in. I can see in the private chat. So we're just gonna, all right, we're gonna do one more. Here we go. Medal of Great Job, dude. That's
the gender in specific dude.
Medal of Maryland. Wow.
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 You went there.
You
Wow.
you went there live in front of the entire world.
In front of
You
all 3 time zones.
all 3 time zones. All right. How we doing? Is the guest? Are we still struggling?
So, I think we're still working on some audio things.
Great. In meteorology, what instrument is used for measuring atmospheric pressure? Wrong answers only, please. What instrument is used for measuring atmospheric pressure? Did somebody just say in the chat that we got a commercial break on Twitch? That's what great timing. That
let's just run them all night long ad again. We'll fight fire with fire.
When we come back, if we're still struggling, we're just gonna put Skeleton Guy up there. That's
we do need to talk about our sponsors though, which we usually use ad breaks for that.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do
good idea.
So these are our sponsors for January 2024. So we're closing out that session right now, and we will be potentially switching out or keeping some and switching them around for May. So we'll see what the board is next time. But some new sponsors this time include IBGDC is India Board Game Designers Collective, or something very close to that. There's a lot of words there that could be one or the other way.
I think that's right.
And that's been really fun to have them helping bring some attendees in from India. We saw more attendance this time from other countries than we have before. We're seeing that growth start to happen, which is really exciting. And also Rose Tree Tabletop Editing Services. That's even a newly available service. Like if you need some help with your rule books, that's Jack Rose Tree, and they're also like part of our team, one of our moderators. And Pink Hawk is Emily Vincent's, who's one of our newsletter writers, her new brand. So
and a fellow New Englander as well.
Yeah.
There's a burgeoning New England kind of scene coming up in through Protospiel, which is fun.
Yeah, that's exciting. And Cardboard Edison, we've had we're doing a partnership with them with the Cardboard Edison Award, and Asian Indie Games is also is based in Singapore. So that's another example of somebody who is helping us gain a footprint in international spaces, which is really exciting. That's always good to see.
Yeah. Amazing.
Indeed. Can I shrink? That would be amazing.
Yes, we could shrink you.
Oh, which one is it? I'm so bad at it. Is it? Where is the one? There it is.
We go. We did it.
The main one. It just doesn't look like this. It doesn't look like it ends up looking. Oh, interesting.
Okay.
We've never had this problem before where the person can't hear. But maybe they can't hear because they're turned off. I think they're going to be able to hear us when we turn them on.
Yeah, so Michael, we're going to try and I'm going to disappear. We're going to put you on. We're going to see if it works. And if it doesn't, then we'll just ad-lib for another 20 minutes. That's fine. So let's give it a try. I'm going to go away. Here we go.
There we go. Let's see if we can hear you and you can hear us now that you're not in the green room. Can you hear us? No? Sounds like we can't hear each other.
No.
Sorry.
No, that's
We can hear
okay.
you.
That's
Oh, we can
okay.
hear you.
Oh.
That's great. I'm glad you can hear me, but I cannot hear you, and I've retried my computer like 4 or 5 times. I'm sorry.
No worries. No worries. Cool. I'm gonna put you back in the green room. All right. Cool. So
Cool.
let's see.
My wonder is if you would hear us on Twitch.
Maybe.
Because we can hear you, so that's fine. Your microphone is working, just not your headphones, I guess.
Yeah, but if
That's
it's
the
like
new
all
problem.
audio isn't coming through, then that might.
Right.
Maybe Heather and I can chat for a little bit, and if David wants to troubleshoot in the private chat, that might be a way to go.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, we can stress for some time.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sweet.
So, Heather, I wonder what were some of the games that you played at this Protospiel round?
That's something that's quite fun to talk about from this last Protospiel, honestly, because we did our pre-stream, right, where we talked about what we were excited for. We haven't done another stream to kind of say how it went. We often, maybe we should do that during this more often, that I will do a little bit of a spiel, because I, for the first time ever, got a blackout bingo. I played so many playtests that I filled 25 squares, and then I played 3 more. And I will give a shout out that I really think a big part of why that was the case is how popular ScreenTop and PlayingCards.io have become among our designers. It's just like so snappy to get sat down in a browser tab, to play a game.
Yeah.
You can finish it faster. There's not a lot of this futzing around with like this 3D implementation isn't working, or like somebody's computer crashed. It's just snappier. And I think that's a big part of why I was able to finish so many. Oh gosh. And like favorites, I wasn't really ready. I did say you heard that I played Brooks's, and I mentioned it's fun to see a game and then see it again after it's been changed.
Iterated and kind of built on, yeah.
Yeah, I think Daria is the one who's from Istanbul. That I played that as same as with Brooks' first playtest, and it worked, but there were a lot of rough spots. You know what I mean? It was playable, same as Brooks' rough spots. And I think Daria didn't play it again the whole August because he had decided he just didn't want it the way it was anymore. He already had so many good ideas that he wanted to move to. And then I got to play it again this time, and that was really fun to get to see the way it evolved.
Looks like we are ready to go if we want to give it another shot. So
all right.
I'm gonna.
Thanks for that behind the scenes.
Good vibes only from the chat.
All right,
Viewers at
here
home.
we go.
Here
Bye-bye.
we go.
Are we good?
You hear us?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
we did it!
Yay!
All right.
Thanks for bearing with us through that tech stuff.
Oh, it's probably on me. It's good. Sometimes I'm a Luddite. It's good.
Well, you help us find out things to warn other people of, anytime those things happen. But that's never happened before that way. So we'll put it on the list.
I believe you're a Luddite because I see those highly technically advanced Christmas lights in the back of your shot.
I'm a sucker.
And only a real cybernetic organism would have that level of technology.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. My partner has to beg me to take them down somewhere around March because I like them up there. They make me feel good.
Yeah.
I have gotten the impression that you're from Canada. Am I right about that?
I am.
You've got your winter to get past with the pretty lights, right?
Yeah, exactly. We keep them up there to keep us all happy and make sure that everyone's joyful in the house. Yeah, I'm going to say hail from southwestern Ontario. Lived for a long time in Toronto, and then I moved up north to be closer to some other family. So I live in Sudbury now, which is probably about 10 degrees colder than the rest of Ontario.
Yeah. Wow.
So, yeah.
I think I might have gotten this impression because you said something about Joe Slack being your local keep you in the loop person, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
In
when I lived in
Toronto,
Toronto, we went to
Protospiel,
so
yep,
many things
we covered,
together.
yeah.
And Joe did the first Protospiel North, which I went to the first year, and it was just awesome. I love all of the gaming conventions, and so yeah, I totally miss Toronto for that. I wish we could do more.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a bucket list item for me is to go to a game convention outside the country, and in particular in Canada, and just get to enjoy not only just traveling but also just a completely different environment. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, I would love to do the same. I would love to go to some sort of a board gaming convention in the United States. Going to be on my bucket list either for this year or next year, so that'll be awesome.
Yeah. And you came as a playtester for first time. I think I saw you saying in our Discord that you did more design in your past. You've kind of been taking a break from it, and so you came as a playtester this time. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't have any publications under my name, but I've worked with a bunch of designers that were local to Toronto and had some fun sort of dipping my toe into that. Got all of the accoutrements that are related to that. I've got like a closet behind me full of game design stuff, and so yeah, it was fun. But after COVID hit, I had to take a bit of a break because things changed, and now I'm trying to get back in as a playtester, and I love games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I love about Protospiel is the incentive for people to just come and play test, because the badge price is far less expensive if you're not bringing games, because you need testers. You need people who are there who aren't necessarily needing to get their own games tested, although that's very, very important. So I love that incentive is there. And especially if you come back, you get a nice discount on it.
Yep.
You get a lot of bang for your buck if you go as a tester.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things I like about testing, and because I work in engineering software, so I help lead a team that's got software designers and whatnot. And I said, if you ever want to see Agile in practice, go to a board game test
Yep.
and watch a
100%.
designer change their stuff on the fly. That's Agile. That's iterative. It's awesome. Like it's
And you don't have to code it. Like
no, you just
scratch
like
it out
take
with
the
a
card out of the
marker.
sleeve. We're just going to change the rules there, and let's try and play it again. I'm like,
This dragon's
it's
an
so
owlbear
awesome.
now. We're just gonna move on
Yeah.
and doing
It's
it.
so awesome. It's
Well, and
so awesome. I
sometimes
love that.
you can even use the same components. That can be a
Yeah.
fun challenge too, is to say, okay, these components, we're not going to change them, but what could we do differently with them?
Yep.
And what would we learn from that? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I love testing games. I like to see them in their sort of makeshift, sort of prototyped way. It's really cool to see it develop and evolve over time. It's super exciting, really.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there's definitely
Agree.
some parallels there with the agile process and with playtesting. The idea of like you just make the most minimum viable thing on your first pass. Don't
Mhm.
spend so much time on the art and all that stuff because you're going to be throwing it away, right?
Yeah.
So
I think the sheer fearlessness of designers is just what amazes me all the time, because they
Mhm.
just put a thing out and they're like, okay, well, that didn't work. Fine, we'll scrap it. We'll try something else. Let's go make another mistake. And it's just like, it's just so cool. I wish the developers I work with would just go try it, experiment. If it
Mhm.
doesn't work, who cares? Scrap it. Let's try something else. So it's very
Yeah.
we need a version of this shirt that says "Let's go make another mistake." That would be
Yeah.
Yeah.
pretty
I like
fantastic.
it. There's some shirts that say things like "Break My Game," or well,
Yep.
there is a playtest community called "Break My Game," but I think separate from that, there have been people who've made that
Yeah.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go make another mistake. I like it, and I think also playtesting. I'm not very good. I feel like I'm admitting this. I'm not very good at framing it this way for people who are not already part of this this world of board game design hobby, but I think playtesting is a really good exercise in communication skills, growing your ability to give and receive feedback.
Yeah.
um, and also separate yourself. I think it's very hard. I think this is rampant in designer community especially, but really just Western society, being very tied to your creation, your personal worth as a human being tied to your creation, and
It's
learning how to
hard.
not do that.
Yeah.
Is a worthwhile, I think, skill to pursue. And playtesting, being a designer, is hard mode sometimes for that. You are close to that feeling. when you try that. Mm-hmm.
And other designers wanting to change other designs is so hard to not like, oh, I know I could fix this game. Here, just do this thing over here, but it might not be the way to go for the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're the expert on your own game when you're the designer. You may have tried that before and you already know. But I tend to try to ask, like, have you tried? Instead of saying you should, I'll say, have you tried this? What do you think of that? And sometimes they say yes, they have. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I would ask, as a tester,
Okay.
were there any sort of wow moments in a game that you experienced in the most recent Protospiel?
There were two for two different reasons. Like, so the one which might not seem like it was that way was this Princess Bride, Joe Slack and Yukon, I think his name is. And what I really liked about it is because I could imagine the rooms that we're kind of building, and I was making the story in my head about the rooms that we're making. And so it was very fun. I didn't expect it to be fun because it was co-op, and I was like, well, co-op games can be sometimes not that great. So I really liked that game. It was the first one I play tested. And huge shout out to Emily Vincent. I really liked her Pirates of the High Tea. It made me hungry as heck. I wanted to get desserts. I wanted to get tea. I wanted to have croissants. And I love the idea of serving this stuff to a captain that was a pirate. So those two things really stood out for me.
You know, I never thought about it before, but now that framing of that game now brings to mind Stardust and the captain and Stardust for me, which is kind of fun.
Yeah. It made my brain go, oh, I want to do that thing.
Yeah. Is it Dustin Hoffman that plays him? Do people know what I'm talking about right now?
I think it's Dustin Hoffman, yes.
Captain Shakespeare.
Captain Shakespeare.
It's a kind of an old movie, but that is a repeat go-to in our household, so top of mind for me. Or you're saying yes to me? Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry, I'm missing out, Jay. My eye was away, but yes, you confirm. Thank you. All right. Well, David said it's time for the game.
Yeah. On that note, it is time to spin the wheel. This will be for the next Protospiel Online gift card. So here it is. And it's a big deal.
Awesome.
Right.
That is so awesome.
You can win multiple entries. Each person who participated, I think the minimum was 4 entries that anybody got.
Yeah.
But you can get way more than that too.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
3, 2.
Are you going to help us, Michael? Oh,
totally.
No.
I'm pressing the button.
Okay.
Let's go.
Right.
And go.
Ah, cramp. Ow.
David's messing with us.
No, I clicked the wrong window. I didn't mean to do that.
I keep thinking your screen is frozen.
Yay.
Very good.
Tell them what they win.
$40 gift card for Protospiel Online. That you can spend on a badge, or I think also nope, just badge. You only use it on a badge. Awesome.
You felt my vibes, David.
Yeah.
Mind reading.
I think I knew that in the back of my mind it was just badge, but anyways, Michael, if folks wanted to find you or follow you on the internet, do you do things do you have social media and stuff you share?
Yeah,
like that?
Mostly on Instagram. I don't do Twitter. I mean, I have it as a news feed, but I never post there anymore because, some really weird dude runs it now. And then it's a whole thing. And then Bluesky, which I've just recently been introduced to since I'm a baby Blueskyer, but he's the guy who's on the other stuff. So Instagram or Bluesky, we'd probably move all my stuff to Bluesky.
Oh, and
amazing.
Your name? Is your handle?
I'm sorry?
Is your handle your name?
Yeah, it's Janex. It's a weird name I've had.
Oh, that's right. That's also your name on Discord.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or Mr. Chartrand, as people at work like to call me. I don't know why.
Awesome.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for bearing with the technical difficulties and joining us. Really good to talk. I got to play test with you a couple of times, but just like Brooks, it's good to face-to-face meet you.
Yes, thank you very much. And I am looking forward to the next one. It's great to be part of this.
Yeah,
Awesome.
thank you.
Thank you so
Great to have
much.
you.
See you later.
Take care.
Bye. Okay. Our next guest is there we go. Our next guest is in the chat, but not in the restream space yet. So Mark, if you're still watching, go ahead and click that link I sent you last night.
Something about that sounded really evocative. I guess I'll just say that.
I mean, sometimes I send people links, and it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just
you can
It's
click
a
them.
whole
It's
thing.
safe.
you can click them. I'm not gonna send you anything. You know,
I'm not. Don't put my name on that. That's your opinion.
it's fine. It's fine.
But Mark, you're fine.
In this particular
Everybody
case,
else,
we
caveat
can
emptor.
vouch
Mark,
for it.
please click the link.
Save David.
I can't do this much longer.
We got one more of these to do, right?
We do.
All right, let's just do it now. We're waiting for Mark to come in.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, we could
All
switch
right.
the segments.
All right, kids. Same rules apply. I'm going to read the trivia question
Oh,
aloud.
he's here. He's here,
there?
though.
Never mind. All right, we're going to get out of that.
I'm going to disappear. Mark's going to appear. Goodbye.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hi guys. I totally did the math wrong on this. I don't know how that happened, but anyway.
Do you get that a
on
lot,
when
Mark?
I was appearing. Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we hear you. Hear us, right?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Very
Okay.
good.
All right. I don't know. I'm doing it on my phone, so we'll see how this works. Okay, how are you guys doing? This is a great stream. I love it.
Hey.
Very good
Everything is going according to plan.
Yes. Smooth sailing.
I thought you guys were on Istanbul time. That's what really happened.
The fourth time zone, as it turns out.
Yeah.
Yes. It's awesome. Well, this was either your second or third time coming.
It was either my second or third. Yeah. I'm
most
not
recent one.
Right.
Probably third.
I think third, yeah.
It feels like you've been around for a while.
Right, because twice I brought dad jokes.
Okay.
And this time I didn't bring dad jokes. I decided to turn Protospiel into a game design jam.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So Thursday, I woke up in the middle of the night with an idea for, I guess what I really should say is the title of a game and a few elements.
Okay.
And so then I've unfortunately been playing around with Dolly, the AI generated images tool.
You say unfortunately.
So like instantly I made a board and I made pieces and I made cards and I threw them up on playingcards.io. And then Friday night I was there with Kirsten who's Duck Duck Sploosh?
Yeah, that's
Kristen, yeah. And somebody else in just in the looking for a game channel, and nobody was looking for a game right then. I said, well, I've got this thing. And so we hopped in and started playing it. And then it became really quickly once I introduced the premise. Well, because Kristen said, okay, now how do we play? I hadn't gone that far yet. But what you're missing is the board was beautiful. The board looked like a finished game. I mean, because it was AI generated. It was like a beautiful game. It was called Out for a Bite. It was about monsters deciding where they're going to eat at these various fast food places, and there was no mechanic. So I spent all of Protospiel testing out different mechanics very quickly. Every time I play tested, it would just be, at one point it was like a take that game. And the other time it was a cooperative game. And then I left really on this. Well, I left on a low note because for some reason I thought that by the end of Sunday night I would have hit that somehow miraculously that's how games were. You would just have the game. So the last playtest they were like, yeah, it's not all that much fun as it turns out. So, but all that meant was like the next day, I was talking to a friend, and we gave it another mechanic, and which I've implemented but not tested, because I decided I want to go with even yet another mechanic. There's now a new version, because I was talking about with my daughter, who I collaborate with a lot on games, and she said, and we started playing around with like a gloom style mechanic for the restaurants, where you can sort of add for and against votes, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2 on them. Something that like, yeah,
gloom
and then
in the
like
sense that it stacks and like things cover things up, or
yeah, gloom in the sense that because I'd sort of passed through a bidding game version of it, and I decided that didn't get people talking enough. So gloom in two senses. One, exactly like you're saying, that it stacks up. It doesn't need translucent cards, but you're adding and subtracting points and things like that as you go. And the second thing is, you know how gloom gets you to tell mini stories? Yeah, there you go. That's what it looks like. So again, that board, it's like, I mean, other than the fact that it's hallucinatory the way AI gets, right? Out for faux bite. But no, I mean, that's pretty close to what I want it to look like. Yeah.
I totally missed that. Out for faux bite.
Yeah. AI is wacky at this point.
What's hilarious is
wow.
I'm putting up a screenshot of when I played, what it looked like when I played it.
Yeah, no, it still pretty much looks like that. Yeah.
And when I played it, I didn't even see that. It's like your brain is amazing. It just fills in that's what is supposed to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just auto corrects it. Yeah. And AI is the opposite, because it has no idea that any of that would be weird. You know, just like, okay, you want some words. This is what humans like. They like letters that are in order. Yeah. Uh-huh. So anyway, so now it's got it. So, but the other thing I like about gloom is that gloom compels you to tell stories, or it gives you micro elements of stories that when you play a card, you're telling a little tiny piece of the story. And so I want to try out that mechanic and see how it goes. But I'm actually half joking and half married to the idea that I will just try out every single mechanic in this. There'll be an one-page RPG version. There'll be, a deck builder, whatever, like every single, tiles, whatever. It'll be every game. Yeah.
Make it a VCR game. Yeah. It's
yeah.
The one you like best.
Escape room. Yeah.
This is, I think, a really good thing to go after. We're talking about that fearlessness, right? That's completely what you're talking about here. You're taking it to kind of the extreme, actually, I think.
Well, what's nice about it, so this is where I wanted to get with Protospiel, which is like, I see so many imaginative games that blow my mind and make me think that, like, some people have their favorites, like mechanics that they go to, and they really refine them. Like, I love playing Tanner's games. Like, it feels like he's been playing with similar mechanics for a little while, and he's got them like so like to perfection, right? Or clearly, like, I got to play the escape room game, Leprechaun Larceny. Clearly, that's a series, so that's it's a genre someone's mastered. But then I see like Zoe's games or some of these other ones where it just seems like they're not bound by the sense of, these designers aren't bound by a sense of what a game has to be, nor necessarily married to one idea of the game. And so I thought, I want to get to this space of lightness, you know what I mean, where I can just be more playful. And again,
holding
like dad jokes,
yeah,
like dad jokes, I'm kind of like, I love, like, I'm not going to change dad jokes. Like, I love that game so much. Like, I my heart and
For the
soul
glass, tell us about dad jokes. I'm kind of interested to hear about what this game's about.
Well, dad jokes is I guess I don't know if you call it a flip and write game, but it's a collaborative joke making game for sort of family style play, where you get a topic, a little category topic, and you get a joke template called Go Ask Your Mother card, and you put those together and you basically try to come up with a punchline for those. So, for example, you might have what is a blank's favorite novel, and then you might have flipped over the card cow. So you got to think, okay, what's a cow's favorite novel? And then you basically come up with a punchline or a variation on that joke.
And it's almost like more like improv. You all just kind of, you have like 5 minutes, or when I've played it and experienced it, you kind of just like have a 5-minute timer for all of you to be like, what about this? What about that? And
it's much more like
respond to it. Yeah.
You're right, Heather. It's much more like a writer's room than it is then like Punderdome is really, if you played that one, it's really like joke maker versus joke maker. And this is meant to be more communal and, hopefully more playful. And it seems like it's worked out that way. We've played it a couple of times in after hours at Protospiel, and it does seem to bring out people's loopiness.
More of a yes and kind of exercise than a competitive experience.
Yeah, I mean, again, I've definitely been in those communities. I've been in a couple of sketch comedy groups where people just cross their arms and like, okay, try to say something that's going to make me laugh, right?
I dare you.
And then, yeah, exactly. And then they don't have that generosity. But again, since I made this game with some other families, including my daughter is like, she's the greatest player of this game because she'll purposefully decide to enjoy other people's jokes out loud to create that atmosphere so that people feel freed up, so that people feel like they're in that space where we can make jokes together and have fun. So it's really, really a family game. But it was a great Protospiel. I know we're getting near the end of the time. I just want to say I also got to play Superlatives, Grant's game. We played a nice round of that. That was actually our after hours one.
Yeah, I was in that with you.
And then I got to play. What was the one we were playing, Heather? That was, and I couldn't find it on the listings, but it was the collaborative tile game that involved a volcano that's erupting in the middle, and we were
Shanti's game. Yeah, that's very pretty. The name of it, it's just Volcano.
Okay, there you go.
So you do remember that volcano game?
Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, that was just a fantastic, super fun, and there was a great moment where was it Emily who knew how we could win, and we didn't listen to.
It was Kirsten.
It was once again. So by the way, I do owe Kristen Lund though. I owe her a towel. Just I guess we're putting that out there for the record for her help playing Out for a Bite without any rules or any mechanic. I owe if something ever happens to that game, I owe her a towel.
A towel?
A towel. I don't know. I believe it's a
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy towel.
I believe it is the thing you're not supposed to leave the house without.
Gotcha.
Very good. Anyway, so I just have to thank you guys. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Chris, for hosting us. Thank you, David. But Heather in particular, thanks for creating such a wonderful, welcoming community. You were talking about what it's like for first timers with one of your earlier guests. And having been that first timer, and I still kind of feel like a relative noob to the whole game making world. Every time I go there, I feel welcomed. I feel, encouraged. I get really good feedback. I see really inventive games, and it's just again, game making spaces could go one, similar to that joke writing, way. It can get super toxic if people let it, right, or if they don't care. And you've created just the opposite. So. Anyway,
thank you.
Hats off to you. Yeah.
Yes. Well, and people who come with energy like yours help a lot too. We all make it together.
All right. Well, appreciate it. Appreciate it 100%.
Yes.
I hate to break up the love fest, but this train,
Killjoy David.
But the train's got to keep moving.
All right.
We've got places to go. We've got a guest waiting. Like
I feel like I have
Thanks
to
for the
call
kind
out
words. Now get out of here.
No, Mark sticks around for this part.
Right. But he told us in the middle of Mark's thing, but the timer was wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the timer was wrong.
So it's a little bit of backstage.
And the other thing you guys should need. So, and can I do the socials? Socials, Mark C. Marino, most places. Yes. Except for MC Marino _kids on X, where sometimes I put the kids, like dad jokes and whatever. Supposedly my family makes those. So sometimes we're the Marino family, sometimes we're just me. So anyway, or markcmarino.com if you're just looking for updates.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Chris, can you hit us with a real quick weakest link, and then we'll have our final guest.
All right. So once again, the rules of the game. I'm going to read the question aloud. The first correct answer in the chat is the one that's going to win the prize. You can search the internet, but if you just know it, you'll answer that much faster. The question.
Prize is a t-shirt.
A t-shirt. These are good t-shirts. You should own one. Here we go. Which country singer recorded a pop album under the guise of fictional character Chris Gaines?
I already know this. Love Chris Gaines. And by love, I mean I know about Chris Gaines.
Didn't even need to repeat the question. Roll plus
We got
fun
it.
correctly
We got
answers
it.
Garth
And this is-
Brooks.
And roll plus fun is Brooks too. So your namesake.
Amazing.
There we go.
Chris.
Well,
it took me a second.
And then you made a game that was Texas about Texas Hold'em and Texagons. So I mean, you're leaning into it.
Yep. Gotta lean hard into it, and that album is an album. I own a physical copy.
It's a thing that like you can put that album on, or you could not put it on, and you could listen or not listen to that album all day long. And I do feel like we should just, this is the album art. That is there he is.
A greatest hits album.
There's Chris.
Yeah, his greatest hits.
Technically true.
That is true. If you only have one album, it's your greatest hits.
Chris Gaines.
Fun stuff.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Okay, thank you guys. Great stream. See you in May.
See you soon.
Thanks, Mark.
I'm gonna go away, and then our final guest will appear. Goodbye again.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, you can hear me. I didn't realize I was the closer, the final guest.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, we'll end on a high note. No offense on anybody else.
Okay, raise expectations. I'll try to keep the good mood going. It's been a good stream.
David's off the screen like, how dare you, Heather? But I will say, I mean, I love you all so much and appreciate you coming. But you were a sponsor in August, and I really super appreciate that. And when I saw you come in as a sponsor, I did definitely have a moment of like, really? I'm like really, really happy about it. So in that sense, that's the special thing about you, I guess, that I can call out at the end here. Yeah.
It was my pleasure. I was really excited that it was achievable for me. I'm a very small independent company, and it's a very reasonable sponsorship. So I recommend it.
Thank you.
And it's you guys have a great community. So I was excited to do it.
Thank you. Well, and it was our first time having the sponsorship too. So that was.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So you were.
To me, it just was like, I'm in on it. This is how it works. This is great. Why have I done this before?
Because it didn't exist before. So it was very encouraging to me to have somebody
there.
I didn't know yet and wanted to network with, but didn't know yet, find it and buy it. That was fantastic. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
But so you didn't come this most recent in January. You're busy with fulfilling your Kickstarter right now, but you did come in August, and we just didn't get to have you on before. So we're talking more about your experience in August, if you share stories. But what you can remember from 4 months ago is going to be interesting too.
I know, yeah, and I was also actively prepping. I feel like my entire life this past year has been like preparing for, executing, and then following up on my crowdfund for Diatoms. But I was really like in the middle of prepping for that when I was doing Protospiel. But I did come and play several games, and I do remember some of them, even though it was 4 months ago. In particular, I played Daria Cheby's game, which I think at that time was called Grandma's Pie, maybe. But this time I think it has a name change.
Yeah, it's called Fly for Pie. I was talking about it a little earlier, maybe before you got here, that I got to play it again. And
oh yeah, I would love to play it again.
And Daria called you out during things for like Daria has been on the stream and might have mentioned you then, but has called you out as like, oh my gosh, you gave me such a good idea that just fix things. The kind of being able to go as far as you want to in one direction is how it works now. And I got to play it that way, and you were right, it's fun. There you go. Isn't it wonderful to hear that?
I'm excited to play it again. Yeah, and that's exactly why playtesting is such a fun and exciting space. You get to see the game like evolve and change almost live. Yeah, that's cool. The other couple of games that I recall, I also played Rainbow Things, Jamie Sabriel's game, and that was a lot of fun. And I'm not usually a take that kind of a game person. It was a weird, like the combo, it's an abstract take that, and something about that just really worked for me. I liked the chaos quite a bit. So that was really fun. And I did not, the other one that stands out, I didn't play. I was an observer because you can do that in Screen Top so easily. And it was a food fight, I think. Food fight or food crimes.
Oh, yes. Okay, food crimes.
Yes, which was the continuation of Chaos. I think it might have been like an after hours game, and there were sausages everywhere and ridiculous food combinations. It was really a blast. And I wasn't even like, I didn't have any agency in the game, so I was more just watching everybody else having a great time and just laughing.
Very good. Yes, it is called Food Crimes: The Absolute Worst, and your points are worst.
That makes sense. Yeah, I didn't remember the tagline, but
already.
saying it.
I missed that one in August.
Yes,
but I'm all in.
Oh, and the sausages were photorealistic.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah, if I remember
they're huge photorealistic sausages, and then we drew stick figures.
David's
and
saying
stuff
that it's nightmare fuel, and you're not talking me off of it by saying that.
I don't agree with that, but there was a lot of emergent gameplay along all directions in that game, which I found delightful.
Emergent. What? Like, tell me what you mean when you say that.
I mean, the game has rules, but the table was just doing other fun things with the rules. And in particular, I think there were like pictures being drawn with the sausages, which sounds. It was playful and fun, not inappropriate for the most part. And yeah, it was. And the game itself is kind of a silly, like, what's the worst food combination? And part of the game built into the game is like, let's talk about it. let's argue for what could be, and then you kind of. I think if I remember, you're sort of betting on what everybody else is going to vote.
You try to agree with at least one person, or I think the number of people that agree with you get that many worst.
Right, it's like one of those social, hidden social negotiation type games.
So instead of judge by how, like, agreeing with each other. So it's not like one person is picking one favorite person. It's like, oh, me, you. You know what I mean? There's a lot of like,
you know what I'm talking about.
That sounds like a really interesting take on the genre, because we've seen so many judging games out there, but that is a fun layer that I think would be really fun to play.
It was obviously fun to play. I didn't quite myself play it, but it was obvious everyone's having a great time, and I was really enjoying being in the audience.
It's good to hear that it's fun. It's a fun audience game too. That maybe gives me some ideas. You know what I mean? It could be a streamable kind of content eventually someday. I could see that.
Yeah, I believe it.
And how is just to give everybody a little bit of a peek into something else I find fascinating about you, right, is you won the Cardboard Edison Award, and you decided to take that and make that your game that you publish as the first game you publish, right? So you didn't wait around for a publisher to decide that the Cardboard Edison meant you were worth publishing. You made it happen, and that's a lot of work, lot to it. And so I'd be really interested to hear you share your thoughts about how that's going at this stage. You haven't delivered yet, but you funded, you had a really successful campaign, and now you're doing all the stuff that a lot of people don't think is fun with logistics and everything to get them delivered.
Yeah. And I'm knee deep in stuff I've never done before, which is one of my goals of doing publishing my own game, was to see all parts of it. I'm a longtime game designer. I come from video games. And have been working in board games for the last few years. And so the game design stuff is kind of familiar, but I'm really, in video games, I was touching product to the end. And there's this different thing in board games a lot of times where you pitch and then you give it to a publisher and then they touch the product to the end, and maybe you have some input, but you're not necessarily doing the end development. And I want to do the full product loop. So that's why I was looking for which game am I going to do. And Diatom's kind of, I wouldn't have advised anybody to do a game like Diatom's as their first game. It kind of went counter to my own advice in doing that, because it's not a card game. And you should do a card game for your first game that you publish.
Maybe a couple tokens or something.
Yeah. Note to myself. But I knew that and rejected it and did this game anyway because it kept asserting itself to me. So I'm doing it. I am pretty close to done with the work, all the back and forth with the manufacturer, and it'll arrive to backers this fall.
Okay.
And I did partner with another company for retail distribution with 25th Century. Okay. So in 2025, I'll be working with them to get it into retail, because it's hard to do that as a small, independent, single person board game company.
Does that mean that you're going to print more than you would have the first print run?
I'm definitely printing. Okay. I am. Yeah. Not too much more. It's not like we're going crazy, but I am printing more than I initially intended.
Okay. And yeah, just for people who haven't seen about Diatoms, can you give them a quick description of what Diatoms are and kind of what the form factor of the game is, or what it's like?
Yeah. So Diatoms are single cell algae. In Diatoms, the game is a puzzly tile placement pattern making game where you're making a mosaic out of algae, which is a real thing that started in Victorian era as the microscope was becoming more available. And you can just go search, Google Diatom mosaic, and you'll find a lot of amazing photographs and from mosaics dating back to like even the 1800s. And in the game, you make your own mosaic, and there's a set of judges and judging criteria, and they, at the end, all your mosaics are scored. But of course, art and science are their own reward. So, the mosaic you make is your own piece of art that you get to take away at the end, and somebody gets a first place ribbon. And there's also a solo mode where you're making mosaics to commission. So someone has commissioned a type of mosaic pattern, and you try to complete it.
Okay, yeah. And you did trying not to go on too long, but just real quick, you also did a kind of flagship launch of trying out screen top codes for your Kickstarter backers. So that's an exciting thing that's coming up, and you're kind of helping pioneer that, or helping them test that out. Yeah.
Yeah. Dave, who runs that, is great to work with, and really supported me in doing that. And it seems to be working pretty well. I haven't had any complaints. Seems to have gone pretty smoothly. So I would do it again and recommend it. I did, I have a little, if anyone does it, I have a little script to email out people codes so you can map it to their Kickstarter backer ID if anybody goes that route. Connect with me on the Screen Top Discord server, and I'll hook you up so you don't have to reinvent the wheel there.
Very nice. Yeah. Thanks for that offer. Yeah, and thanks for joining us. It's been great getting to know you. I'm very glad you're around. So thank you.
Thanks. I'm excited to do. I'm sorry. I'm sad that I missed this current Protospiel, and excited to come back next time. I already know what game I'm going to bring.
Ooh, so I can't wait.
I'm looking forward to
See what you will do. Yeah. Oh, very good.
Sounds exciting.
You know what else is exciting?
Oh man!
Giving away
stuff. Here's the last one. We're going to do this one more time. This is for our final Protospiel Online gift card to be used only on a Protospiel Online badge. So 3, 2, 1, and spin. There it goes. Round and round.
3 ibuprofen after this one. Leonie Grundler! Congratulations.
Leonie. Amazing.
I remember, I don't think I got to play with Leonie, but she has, I love that name brand combination is like Lioness Games or something like that. I was like, oh, good get. I like it. Yay.
But that's
Yay.
it.
Thank you, everybody.
That's the whole thing.
We should have you give your socials though, Sabrina.
Yes, please give your socials.
Oh.
I did throw that enormous, terrible looking link that is in the chat. If you click that, it will take you to the Kickstarter page for Diatoms, which I don't believe it's too late to back. Is that correct?
You can give us it
I'm
in the private
doing
chat, and we
late-
can post it for you, Sabrina.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm doing a late pledge through Hive,
Got it.
and it will open through April. So you can still slip in for a slightly cheaper price, and you'll get it this year instead of having to wait till the middle of next year.
Amazing.
Yeah, on let's see, socials. I'm Sabrina C on Bluesky. I'm Little Liminal on Instagram. I also have Little Liminal a couple other places, but primarily I use Instagram for sharing like my company stuff.
Awesome.
Very good. All right. Well, thank you. I
Yeah.
think we'll say goodbye
Thanks.
to you and then goodbye to each other after that, right?
That
All
sounds good.
Well, thanks so much for
All right.
joining us. And
Thanks
see
for
you
having
around.
me.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. That's
All
it.
right.
That's
This has been
God,
just a
I-
fantastic
there we go.
rehearsal. It has. Can't wait to do this one for real.
I'm gonna let the two of you do it next time. You can just do it yourselves. Since you're so good at this, you can just do it yourself.
If I never get invited back ever again, that face has been worth everything leading up to this point.
I've got other
Best
stuff I
stream
could be
we've ever
doing.
done.
You're welcome to just run it on your own.
We love you, David.
we change the roles and make Chris do all of the behind the scenes tech stuff and
It's
you the
hell.
comedy show.
Be worse on purpose.
Poor David.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm
Oh.
gonna go take a nap.
Oh wow! I don't think it gets much better than that.
All right. Well, I feel like I have to referee here or something.
Give the socials and get out of here before it gets worse.
Right.
That's right.
Yes, so our next event will be May 3rd through 5th. Badges aren't quite on sale yet, but they will be near the end of the month in February. And our socials are at Protospiel O on Bluesky and Instagram. And we have a Facebook page if you want to look us up there. I do try to put the events up as Facebook events so that you can use it as a reminder if you use Facebook for that kind of stuff. I know it's good at reminding you that something is coming up. If you use Facebook, it's good at that. So we make it available to you. And yeah, thank you very much, Chris, for coming and giving David a hard time.
Yeah.
And
You
doing
can give me a hard time on
for us.
Bluesky. I'm at Table with You. Same thing on Instagram, but really Bluesky, probably where you're gonna find me. And you can search for Mall Night Long, a virtual game show on Facebook.
And what about you, David? Are you?
I don't want to
Hoping
speak
people-
to any of you ever again. So if you're not, you don't get to find me online.
Oh.
I'm at davidmaznato.com on Bluesky.
All right.
We'll just take this beef there and get the numbers up as people tune in.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to see
Right.
David and I feud online, Bluesky's open now. You don't need a code.
Take it into the skies.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Bluesky seems pretty cool. So it'll be hopefully more folks will start making their way over there.
Yeah. And if I'm not much mistaken, Vicky Langer, who won one of the prizes, started the game design thread on
That is
Blue
true.
Sky.
That is
So
true.
the
That's
little
really cool.
secret is you need to put die. This is the hard thing. I can't remember if it's scissor die or die scissor every time. The tag.
Yeah.
And like do it once and talk to Vicky, and you'll get in that thread to be part of the conversation. Everything game design, which is awesome, and I'm glad they've built that for all of us to use.
It is. Where is it? I'm trying to find the. My lists aren't showing up. Oh, it's in feeds. It is dice scissors.
Okay.
So die emoji, scissor emoji. Yes.
Yes.
If as long as you include those things in your posts, you will get added to the board game design feed. And that's correct, Mark. There are no hashtags currently on Bluesky. Hashtags do not do anything. You can type them, but they will not do anything.
You could use them ironically, which I enjoy doing, but
and I don't know if that's a thing they plan on incorporating.
Yeah, like if it'll get activated later. So if you do it now, it'll work later.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't pretend to have insight into Jack's mind, so it's not something I'll speculate on, but would be nice to have.
Yeah, would be.
Very true. Oh, social media. We can't do the socials without discussing the situation. It's been quite the year for that, I suppose, huh?
It's been a year.
Yeah, it's been quite the 25 years.
It is January 65th.
Yeah, I am
2024.
What a good idea we had when we made the internet.
It's all good and cool. And everything is fine.
Let's let people talk to each other digitally, they said. It'll be fine. Cool.
Yes, well, I'm grateful for the parts of it that work, and we'll work through the parts of it that don't work.
Yeah, exactly.
Indeed. Well, I hope to see everybody in May for the next one.
Yes.
I'll be watching for the official invitation to buy your badges.
Yep, we'll send you an email. We'll talk to you on Discord if you're in our Discord. So keep an eye out for that. And thanks for joining us and laughing along with us. It's been good to be with everybody. Have a happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.